Have you ever thought about how everything you've worked for your whole life could slip away due to just a few missteps after turning 70? It's a challenging thought, particularly after dedicating so many years to creating a life, nurturing a family and saving up for the future, designed to support you in retirement with comfort and dignity. Many older adults, unfortunately, encounter risks that can silently deplete their savings, threaten their independence, or expose them to financial manipulation. The reality is that safeguarding your assets in your later years requires more than just common sense. It takes a bit of awareness, some clever strategy, and a handful of unspoken rules that often linger in the background. In this video, we're going to explore 4 important rules that every older adult should be aware of to safeguard their wealth and finding peace of mind after 70. These are more than just suggestions. These are principles that have stood the test of time, gathered from real-life experiences, gentle warning signs, and lessons learned through tough times. You'll discover how little choices can lead to significant outcomes and how to recognize the subtle errors that might end up costing you dearly. From safeguarding your legal rights to keeping a keen eye on your daily expenses, each guideline provides valuable wisdom on how to gracefully navigate the journey of aging with both insight and resilience. Stick around with us until the very end, because this journey is about more than just keeping your money safe. It's all about holding on to your freedom, your dignity, and that comforting sense of security you've built up throughout your life. Just a tiny change in the way you handle your financial choices can lead to a big impact. It's not only for you, but for your dear ones as well. And if you believe you're already being cautious enough, this might just catch you off guard. Sometimes the greatest risks can sneak up on us from the very places we hold dear and trust the most. Hey there! Before we dive in, I'd be super grateful if you could give this video a thumbs up. I'd love for you to join me in sharing these timeless lessons with others. If you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you can stay updated with all the latest videos. If you enjoyed this video, drop a comment with the number 1. If it wasn't quite your thing, feel free to share a 0 so I can make my future videos even better. All right, let's dive in and get things rolling. First off, there's the risk of handing someone complete control over your finances. One clear way folks can unintentionally lose their assets after turning 70 is by giving too much financial control to someone else, usually with the best of intentions. It often starts with a wish to make life a bit easier, to seek a little assistance from someone dear, or to ensure that those bills are taken care of promptly. What might appear to be a simple act of trust can quickly evolve into a situation that's tough to reverse. You might believe that your daughter would never take advantage of you, or that your son truly knows what's best. And while that might be the case, it's important to remember that not everything stems from bad intentions. Sometimes it's the little mistakes, the misunderstandings, or the unexpected pressure from others that can catch you off guard. When you allow someone to share access to your accounts, whether through joint ownership, power of attorney, or co-signing, you're essentially giving them the keys to your financial world. They have the ability to transfer funds, make choices, and often take action without keeping you in the loop. That kind of power can be tricky, especially if you're not completely aware of the legal rights you might be handing over. Sadly, when money vanishes or choices are made on your behalf, it can be quite a challenge to get back what you've lost. Once upon a time, there was a man named Gerald who was 82 years young. He made the decision to add his nephew to his bank account because he could use a little assistance with some online bills. The nephew wasn't breaking any laws, but gradually he began treating the account as if it belonged to him, at least in part. Little withdrawals here and there, some impulse buys, and a couple of loans to friends really piled up to several $1,000s. Gerald was caught off guard, realizing too late that the account was joint. The bank assured him it was all above board, leaving him feeling a bit bewildered. Well, that's the tricky bit. Just because you have faith in someone doesn't mean you should relinquish control. Many folks think that signing over power of attorney or adding someone to their accounts will keep them safe, but it can sometimes do the opposite and take away those protections. These legal tools can be quite useful, but it's important to establish clear limits, checks, and proper documentation to ensure they work effectively. Relying solely on family harmony or goodwill just won't cut it. As we age, we find ourselves becoming more open, not only in our bodies, but also in our hearts. Sadly, financial predators are well aware of that fact. Sometimes, the person who takes advantage of you isn't a stranger at all, but someone you know well, who slowly crosses boundaries without even noticing. That's why it's best to hold on to your accounts, keep your records organized, and if you find yourself in need of assistance, reach out to a qualified legal professional who can help you create clear terms, limited power of attorney, revocable trusts, or monitored access. Having accounts can really help you keep the reins, while also ensuring you get the support you're looking for. It's important to ensure that even your nearest and dearest can't make significant financial choices for you without some protective measures in place. Imagine it as a way to shield both yourself and them from any regrets down the road. Setting boundaries is not a sign of distrust in your loved ones. It shows that you have the wisdom to see the good in that. Sometimes, when folks are handed a little too much power without any checks, they can end up making some pretty poor choices. Once you hit the age of 70, safeguarding your assets really means looking out for your ability to make decisions. Once that slips away, it can be quite a challenge to reclaim it. The quiet drain of ongoing expenses and old financial obligations. Another subtle way folks can see their assets dwindle after 70 isn't by taking big risks. It's those little leaks that often go unnoticed. It's quite common for older adults to find themselves still paying for services or subscriptions they no longer use, need, or even recall signing up for in the first place. Recurring expenses often sneak into our lives, appearing month after month like an old friend, quietly nibbling away at those precious retirement savings. You know how it goes. Maybe you've got an old magazine subscription lying around, a streaming service you haven't touched in ages, or some insurance coverage that's just not necessary anymore. Those little charges can sneak up on you and add up quicker than you might think. Let's talk about Sandra for a moment. At 76, she enjoys a cozy life in her humble home. One day, her daughter came to her with a request to take a look at her credit card statements. It turned out that Sandra was shelling out money for 3 different identity protection services, 2 streaming platforms she never bothered to watch, and a gym membership she hadn't touched since before the pandemic. In total, it added up to almost $3,000 a year, just quietly slipping away without a sound. She didn't notice it much from day to day, but as time went on, that money could have been spent on healthier meals, fixing up the house, or even little pleasures like family visits. Sometimes it's not just about spending too much. Sometimes it's all about those old spending habits, decisions that seemed right 5 or 10 years back, but just don't fit the bill today. Once you hit the big 7-0, your financial priorities start to shift. While you may not be hitting the road as frequently or jet-setting like you used to, many companies are counting on auto-pay systems and renewals to keep the cash flowing from those who might forget or simply don't want to deal with the hassle of cancelling. And when your income becomes more stable, even those little recurring charges can start to add up and make a difference. There's a psychological reason behind this too. As we grow older, a lot of us find ourselves feeling uneasy about the thought of change. We hold on to our routines, even when they no longer do us any good. Sometimes there's a certain peace that comes from simply allowing things to unfold, even if that means spending a little more than we intended. It can be a bit of a hassle to sift through old paperwork or to reach out to customer service lines that seem to test your patience. However, ignoring these tasks might end up costing you more than you realize, both in your wallet and in your peace of mind. There's a subtle, nagging worry that creeps in, as if money just vanishes into thin air without any clear reason. While reviewing your monthly expenses might not seem like the most thrilling activity, it can actually be quite empowering in unexpected ways. Take a moment to review each bill, every auto payment, and all the service plans. If you're unsure about it or not using it, don't hesitate to reach out to someone you trust for a little guidance in figuring it out. It's perfectly okay to come to the realization that you've been paying too much for something. It would truly be a pity to let it carry on simply because of fear, pride, or just getting stuck in a rut. In today's digital age, there are handy tools available that can help you easily find and cancel those pesky subscriptions you no longer want, all with just a few clicks. Cutting down on wasteful spending goes beyond just saving a few bucks. It's all about taking back the reins. It's all about ensuring that your hard-earned assets are directed toward things that genuinely enhance your quality of life. Every dollar you save from an unnecessary expense is a dollar that can bring a little more sunshine to your days, boost your health, or soothe your heart. When you safeguard your finances, you're also looking out for your own sense of calm and tranquility. If you're still with me on this video and enjoying these insights, I'd love for you to drop a number 2 in the comments below to say hi. If you haven't subscribed yet, I really encourage you to do so and hit that bell icon so you won't miss out on any of our videos. Your support allows us to keep crafting great content that informs and inspires you. All right, let's keep going. Thirdly, let's talk about why it's so important to diversify your income sources. One of the most important, yet often overlooked rules for safeguarding your financial health after turning 70 is to avoid putting all your eggs in one basket. For many older adults, they often find themselves leaning on just one source of income, which is typically Social Security or a pension. While these factors hold significance, they often lack stability and seldom align with the actual cost of living. When everything you rely on comes from a single source, even the tiniest hiccup can shake your world to its core. That's why finding different ways to earn money, even in small ways, is such an important way to keep yourself safe. Once upon a time, there was a delightful fellow named Frank, a 74-year-old retired schoolteacher. For many years, he relied entirely on his pension and Social Security. Everything was manageable until his property taxes increased, medical bills began to stack up, and inflation started to chip away at the value of his monthly check. Out of nowhere, what once seemed to blanket everything now barely reached the basics. He was reluctant to return to work, but he discovered a sense of calm by turning a slice of his savings into a small annuity and leasing a section of his garage to a local artist. While it didn't fill his pockets with gold, it certainly brought him a sense of relief and a comforting security he hadn't experienced in quite some time. Finding new ways to earn money after turning 70 can be a lot more enjoyable than just taking on a part-time job or jumping into the stock market. Sometimes it's just about spotting those little gentle streams that help lighten the load. An annuity that's well thought out, a cozy rental property that's just the right size, or even transforming a beloved hobby into a little side venture. Here are some choices that offer you a bit of freedom. When life surprises you, as it often does, having a few different options lets you adapt without feeling overwhelmed. It's truly uplifting to realize that you have multiple safety nets to catch you when you need it. It helps to ease fear in the mind. It makes you feel in control of your financial future rather than being at the mercy of red tape or increasing expenses. Relying solely on social security can feel like balancing on a tightrope with no safety net below. Just one delayed check and a little policy change, and before you know it, you find yourself in a bit of a pickle. When you've put together even a few simple backups, you carry yourself with a bit more assurance. Hey there, just a friendly reminder that you have plenty of options to choose from. Some folks hold back from diversifying because they think it's either too late or too tricky. Some folks believe I'm too old to embark on a new journey, or that I lack knowledge about investments. But the reality is, there are easy and safe strategies out there that don't need any complicated financial know-how. Feel free to chat with a trusted advisor about low-risk dividend portfolios. How about renting out a cozy room, sharing your knowledge by teaching a class, or diving into the world of online sales with vintage collectibles? There's so much you can do. Why not team up with friends or family to pool your resources? Together, you can create shared income projects that bring benefits to everyone involved. Let me share a little secret with you that you might not hear from everyone. You don't have to aim for a huge income. Just think about it. An extra $100 or $200 a month can really add up and make a big difference in your life. It can help with prescriptions, groceries, or even that special trip to see the grandkids. It's not about money. It's all about freedom. The kind that lets you make choices based on your desires, not just your budget. You've dedicated your life to working hard, saving diligently, and providing for those you care about. As you step into this new chapter, may you do so with strength and a sense of peace, leaving fear behind. And that sense of peace often arises from the understanding that, regardless of what happens to one part of your income, you've created other avenues to keep you on solid ground. Diversification is more than just a financial strategy. It's a way to navigate life that helps us grow older with strength and self-sufficiency. Let's talk about number 4. The sneaky dangers that come with outdated estate plans and overlooked beneficiary designations. Lots of folks think that after they've put together a will or established a trust, their estate is all set and there's nothing left to fret about. But the reality is, estate plans are dynamic documents, and if they aren't looked over and refreshed from time to time, they might turn into pitfalls instead of protections. Old documents, confusing instructions, or outdated beneficiary designations can create expensive legal disputes, put a strain on family ties, or even result in assets going to the wrong people altogether. Sadly, many folks don't notice the harm until it's already too late to make things right. Once upon a time, there was a delightful fellow named Harold, an 81-year-old retired engineer with a wealth of stories to share. He had put together his will back in his 60s, a time when his children were still little and his finances looked quite different. Back then, he chose his older brother to be the executor and surprisingly named an ex-girlfriend as the beneficiary of a small life insurance policy that had slipped his mind. 20 years later, his brother was gone, but his bond with his children had blossomed into something truly wonderful, and he hadn't exchanged a word with his ex-girlfriend in many years. Unfortunately, he never got around to updating his paperwork, which meant that the insurance money ended up going to someone who was no longer part of his life. As a result, his children found themselves having to navigate the courts to figure everything out. You'd be surprised at how often situations like Harold's come up. Life may shift and evolve, but paperwork has a way of staying the same. Perhaps you've found love again. Perhaps someone you held dear has either departed from this world or journeyed to a new place. Perhaps you've picked up some new assets or let go of a few old ones. All of these changes influence how your estate should be managed. If your documents don't show those changes, the courts might have to guess what you meant, and there's a chance they could misunderstand. One thing that often slips people's minds is the importance of checking beneficiary designations on retirement accounts, life insurance policies, or bank accounts. These designations truly take precedence over what you've put down in your will. If your will states one thing, but your account paperwork indicates something different, the beneficiary on the account takes precedence. It's a surprising twist that has caught many families off guard, leaving them feeling shocked and heartbroken, particularly when an estranged relative or ex-spouse unexpectedly receives assets intended for someone else. Many folks tend to steer clear of going back to these documents, as they can feel a bit daunting or stir up some tough emotions. It's not something anyone enjoys pondering, the idea of what comes after we're no longer here. Updating your estate plan is really about looking ahead, not just preparing for the end. It's all about safeguarding your legacy. It's all about ensuring that the folks you cherish are taken care of just the way you envisioned. It's all about keeping things clear, avoiding misunderstandings, and steering clear of extra costs later on. Taking a look at your estate plan can be a straightforward process. One of the best places to start is by taking a moment to read through your will, trust documents, and any accounts that have named beneficiaries. If you come across anything that seems outdated, unclear, or inconsistent, don't hesitate to reach out to a qualified estate attorney or financial advisor for guidance. It's a good idea to chat with your loved ones so they know what you want and feel part of the journey. This way, they won't be left wondering or feeling rushed during such a difficult time. Keep in mind that estate planning isn't just a one-and-done deal. It's a glimpse into how your life, values, and relationships are changing and growing. Staying up to date is one of the kindest and most responsible things you can do, not only for your belongings, but also for the people you hold dear. When you take a moment to refresh your plans, you're not just keeping things in order. You're also ensuring peace, clarity, and dignity for yourself and for those who will come after you. If you're still with me on this video and enjoying these insights, I'd love for you to drop a comment with the number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I suggest you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you won't miss any of our videos. Your support allows us to keep crafting great content that informs and inspires you. All right, let's keep going, wrapping things up. As we come to the end of this video, I invite you to take a little time to think about the 4 important rules we've talked about today. Which one caught your eye the most? Was it about keeping a close eye on your finances, trimming unnecessary expenses, creating new ways to earn, or making sure your estate plans are current? Every rule carries its own special insight, and when combined, they build a solid base that supports you in aging with confidence, clarity, and a sense of peace. This goes beyond just dollars and cents. It's all about your freedom, your dignity, and the chance to create the life you desire as you grow older. One of the most common misunderstandings folks have about aging is that it signifies losing control. But here's the thing, you have more power than you realize. Every choice you make, no matter how tiny, has the power to safeguard your future or put it in jeopardy. And the wonderful thing is, it's always the right time to choose a better path. Taking a moment to look over your bank statements, going through your legal documents again, or reaching out to a trusted advisor for a bit of guidance can really show that you care about your future. Every little step counts and makes a difference. If this video brought some clarity to your thoughts or sparked a memory that matters, I invite you to take a step forward today. Just a single change can create a ripple effect that safeguards not only your finances, but also your well-being and peace of mind. You've put in a lot of effort to reach this point. Now's the moment to safeguard what you've created, not only for yourself, but also for those who care about you and admire you. We're so glad you could be here with us today. We can't wait to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell us one thing you learned today and how you're thinking of using it in your life. We truly value your thoughts, so please feel free to share them with us. Your comments truly inspire and uplift us. If you had a good time watching this video and found it useful, we'd love for you to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Your support allows us to keep crafting great content that informs and inspires you. We really appreciate you tuning in, and we can't wait to catch you in the next video.